another one for you.
So, an update to my Zerker Potions build, my league starter. Yeah, that was a tier 6. I'm in yellows. It's doing very well. Still got some work to do. I've invested minimal into it. I think I picked up an Impulses, which was like 60 chaos, and 5 linked it myself and did some other minor improvements, but literally it's a budget, and I'm in yellows. So to answer the question about the first video, when I said, will it work? The answer is yes. Yeah, the vision of this build has been fully achieved. I mean, chucking potions angrily is one of the viewers said in the podcast earlier. The chucking potions angrily has been fully achieved, like power level over 9,000. I think some of the pros and cons, now that I have played it and I've had my hands on it and I've experimented, I'm level 85 now also. So I've had enough time to kind of build up another point of interest when it comes to things to talk about. Pros and cons have swapped just a little bit. I know that one of the biggest cons is the fact that you have to go Aspect to Carnage. Well, you don't necessarily have to go this route, but I think it's the easiest route without having to invest in a crazy amount of crit to go Blitz charges, which Blitz charges turn out to be kind of insufficient with minimal investment. Now on a build where you have enough money and currency to pump into the build, I would recommend probably going Blitz charges. But with Aspect to Carnage, it makes you feel really squishy, as any normal Berserker build does with Aspect to Carnage. Makes you feel kind of squishy. So that's the con that I have felt like the biggest con, like the biggest hurt. The other problem with the build is Rage. Rage is an amazing mechanic. It just sucks having to build up Rage, especially when there are downsides and like down parts, like where bosses have immunity stages, or you have to stop to do the league mechanic. There's nothing to hit, so you're losing Rage, constantly. So if you're not hitting something, it kind of feels bad, right? You have to start all over again with your Rage, or you're losing Rage and you feel slower than what you were when you initially started. It just doesn't feel great at times. But the pros are everything that I thought. Enough damage. They thought they could slow you down. You're not really that much slower than what you were to start. You're still zoom as fuck, like you're zoom. Running Impulses. If you can get your hands on an Impulses, your AOE, your AOE will take care of itself. I feel like there might be some other ascendancies that could potentially do better than a Berserker. But if you're looking to spice it up and do something different and not normal, Berserker's where it's at, for sure. If I could also add like one more thing to this, I'm going to play around with Point Blank. One of my viewers gave me the idea of have I tried and messed around with Point Blank, considering that you're always in the grill of somebody, or monsters are always in your jockstrap. Like, you might as well just try Point Blank. The only downside I don't like about Point Blank is there are times where I don't want to be point blank on somebody's toes, so it's like, pick your poison kind of thing. But I feel like that could potentially help this build out a lot with like upfront single target. Outside of that, there's not much else to talk about really. It's a very interesting skill. I think time will tell. It will reveal more about this. I think it has a bright future. It's a very fun thing to play. It's a very fun mechanic. Obviously as a PoE player, everybody wants to damage and everybody wants to have advantages from playing something, but I think the worst part about it is not being able to have a weapon, because now I'm socket starved and I cannot wait for PoE 2 again. Once again, I cannot wait, because not having sockets is like the worst feeling over anything else in this game. If you can't have skills in your build, it feels terrible. Down at the bottom in the description, I'm going to link you guys a POB of my tree. There are a few things that changed. There are a few things that I figured out how to be more efficient with my pathing, cut things off, anoint this, do that. You know, certain things I felt like that I did not need. So some things have changed, but for the most part, it's still the same tree. Take what you want from it, use it. I'm still gonna play around with some other mechanics and other ideas, maybe even pump more money into it as I farm. Up next, I've got some ideas for summoning builds, so that is what's on the list next after this. But it's been a pleasure to play around with this and kind of give you guys my feedback on it. I think it has a bright future. Explosive Concoction gets my thumbs up. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Perfect.